Whimsical Workshop. Today I want to talk about how I travel with my quilting supplies and how I make it super easy so when I have to run out the door to go to a class, I don't have to spend hours packing up all my stuff. The first thing I want to talk about is the sewing machine and how I take that on the road when I leave. I have 3 different machines. I have a Bernina 440, Bernina 150, and a Singer Featherweight. Depending on what I'm doing, where I'm going, this little guy can go in the airplane with me. He's lightweight. I will take him. I will take my 440 or my 150 if I'm doing any kind of applique or any kind of decorative stitching or making bags, because there's a lot of specialty feet that I use for my machine. And each of the machines has an acrylic table. This is what the acrylic table looks like. The tables have to be cut for the machine, and then I label them so I know which table goes with which machine. I remember one time I went to quilt camp and I grabbed my 440 machine and my 150 table, and it wasn't pretty. So now they're all labeled and I've learned from my lessons. So you have the acrylic tables, and then I also, on all of my tables, I have a Clearly Perfect angle taped onto it, and I have a Q-Tools bumper for 1/4 inch seams. This happens in my cabinet, on my tables, but I leave them on them so I don't have to reposition them every time I go. So I have 3 of these, and 3 of these, and 3 of these. If you have one machine, you luck out, you only need one of everything. So then it just fits on my machine. There we go. And I'm ready to sew fairly quickly because I don't have to position this, it's ready to go. For each machine, I have a travel bag for them. This is the little one for the featherweight, and in my featherweight bag I have all of my feet. This is a little bento box that I found at a dollar store somewhere. It was so cool. And I have extra needles, I have my leads, I have extra bobbins, and then up here are all the extra feet for the Singer Featherweight. For my other machines, I have a tackle box, and if you want to see more about how I travel with my feet for my other machines, check out our video on my sewing area where I go over how to store them, and it makes them really easy to travel. The other thing I have in each of the to-go bags is a bag of threads, bag of notions. But that's for the featherweight. I keep everything all together because a lot of times I will just take this bag on the road with me. For my other machines, I have a different bag. I have what I call my quilting go bag. So let me move this out of the way so I can show you all the goodies in that bag. Okay, so for my other machines, I have a different way of storing all my tools. I have a quilting go bag. A go bag is a bag that you have packed all the time, ready to go, that you could run out the door in a moment's notice and have everything you need. The trick to having a quilting to go bag is you have to have duplicates of all your favorite tools. Not a problem, love notions. And the first rule of a go bag is don't take anything out of the go bag in your studio, because it'll never end up back in the go bag, and then you'll be on the trip thinking you have a pair of scissors and you don't, because you have 2 pairs in your studio. So this one is a Yazzii bag. I also have on my Yazzii bag a little flashlight. I taught a couple times now, I've taught where the power goes out in the building and there's no lights, no windows, so I now travel with the flashlight no matter what. And in my to-go bag is everything I need to teach and to quilt. And believe me, whether you're a teacher or not, you need a lot of this stuff. I start with my binding rulers. Lots of videos online from us showing you how to use our binding ruler. It's a great way to do your binding. No measure, 3 steps, and you'll have a perfect binding joint every time. I have my strip stick in here for pressing seams. Another video we have up for you. I have glue sticks. I use glue sticks for everything. I use them to glue in a zipper before I sew the zipper in, glue on buttons before I sew buttons down. I use it to glue all my curves. That's my favorite way to do curves. Then I have a rotary cutter, scissors, a zippy ripper. All of the tools I would need at home I have in here. I have a spare set in here. I have a extra package of these strip Q-Tools sewing edge strips. mainly because I teach and I do end up giving those to students. I always have a pack of tissues, never go wrong with tissues. I have my threads, extra bobbins, I have pins, a pin cushion. Share with you. There's my super cute miniature pin cushion I sewed that I use on the road, and then I have my magic pins. These pins are the best. Especially if you have arthritis. They're easy to pick up, they're textured for gripping, they're silicone tops that don't melt with the iron, they are extremely sharp. I have poked myself a few times with them. And for quilting you want the blue ones. We do sell these on our website, thewhimsicalworkshop.com. Actually a lot of these tools are on our website. So I have those. Always have a tape measure with you. I have a mascara brush to clean my machine. I did show this in my one video on sewing machine area, so you may want to check that out. Always have an extra screwdriver for your machine. If you need to buy it from the stores that maintain your machines, get an extra one. You can never ever have too many little screwdrivers. I have iron off to clean my iron. Especially because I teach a lot of fusible applique classes, I want to make sure that if there's any fusible on the irons, we clean it off before the next person uses it. And I have my hand sewing stuff, so I have a thimble, my hummingbird threader, some spare needles for both machine and hand. And then on this side I have, if I can get it down like that, I have a stiletto, I have a friction pen, I have a Sharpie, I have a white chalk pencil, I have a pattern marker, I have a wood pressing iron, an extra seam ripper, a glue stick. These are the French Bowen glue sticks that I love for paper piecing. I have tweezers. I have two purple things in case I lose one. And then I have another stiletto, another seam ripper. And then in the very end, I have, this is just like the cutting gizmo. It looks like this. I got these on a cruise, this one on a cruise when I was teaching for Stitch in Heaven. It does the same thing if you train piece. You just pop them over the blade. This one's just a little bit smaller than this guy. So he's in here. I have a whole pencil case of pencils. I have a travel iron. It's one of my favorites. I cover this in my ironing videos. A extra magnetic pin cushion. That's gifts for my next camp, so we won't show those. And then I have my top rulers that I use that will fit in here. So I have my 2 peaks and 1 ruler, which if you look at our patterns on the whimsicalworkshop.com, I design a lot of quilts using that ruler. I have the, I call it the Pac-Man ruler, but one of my students called it that actually, and I love the name. This is the non-slip multi-size 6-inch flying geese and 45-90-degree triangle ruler, but I use it to do half square triangles, flying geese, to mark all of my pieces, so I use this ruler a lot. And then I have a multitude of small rulers just in case, and those all fit in this bag, which I love because everything is in here. And again, this bag is packed, it's ready to go. I don't take anything out of it at home. I will repack it after the video. And then in this guy, we have all our Wonder Clips, which I have to say I was not a huge fan of them right away, but now I love them. I use them for everything. So I have a spare bag of those in here as well. So I keep this packed, ready to go. If someone called me for an emergency quilting class, I could just grab my bag, grab my featherweight, and be out the door in about 5 minutes. So that is how I travel for quilting. See if there's anything. Oh, I wanted to show you for my acrylic tables. I put them in this, it's a pillowcase basically, with some handles. And this is the acrylic table for the other machine, but I want to show you in here is my pressing board, cutting table. This guy opens up. You have a little cutting mat and a pressing board. I covered this in my cutting mats video if you want to check that one out. I have my acrylic table and the feet in here. Junk. And then I have this guy. I love these wool mats for pressing. And they were so smart. They cut one that is the exact same size as a tray table. And a lot of the quilting retreat places have those tray tables. A lot of your friends will have them when you go to sew. So I bought one just to have. I use this to press. It gives me beautiful flat seams every time. So I have that in here. And then I have the daylight light at my sewing cabinet, which breaks down into 2 little pipes. That box actually slides in here too. So with 3 bags, I have an entire sewing room on the go. I would love to hear your tips and your favorite tools to have when you go on the road. How do you travel with your bag? If you have a go bag, send me a picture. I'd love to see it. And if you've enjoyed the video, make sure you like and subscribe below, and happy quilting.